We continue learning Kitzur Yomi, the halachos of Mezuzah. Finishing halachos of Mezuzah, going into halachos of Tefillah. Simin Yud Aleph, Sif Chof Aleph teaches the Kitzur Asecher Bayis V'Chosar. If you rent a house, Pater Mezuzah L'Shleishim Yom. Why? It's not a diras keva. Note 54 points out for a Moshe Feinstein. Let's say you're renting it for a year. Then what do? Zakra Moshe, right away you put up the mezuzah without a bracha. Then after 30 days, you make the bracha, take it down, put it back up, or touch it. Why? Because the nekuda of 30 days is you're not settled, but chutzar until it's 30 days. But again, this is all about renting. So when buys a house, it'll be a different story. Sev chav beit, you'll be chayiv right away. Sev chav beit zeyotz min habayis. If you're moving out of the house and another yid is moving in, lo yitol mish that's mezuzah, you're not taking mezuzah with you. You have to leave him there. The second guy has to pay you. Leaving a house without a mezuzah is considered a sakana. But avad, the second guy has to pay you. We'll just mention one heter, that if you know they're going to paint in between renters, then you have to take the mezuzahs when you paint. That would be an eitzah. You have to be very careful. It's an obligation always. Whenever you go in and out of the house, you touch the unity, the oneness of Hashem, Baruch Hu. And we'll get to in a few moments. That there's a Possuk even to say when you touch the mezuzah. But let's get there. But number one explains the Kitzur that when you walk by the mezuzah, you're remembering the oneness of Hashem. So you wake from your slumber, and all the mistakes of this world. There's nothing that lasts forever. Ella, the knowledge of the rak of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You come back to yourself. Amrav said, "You're wearing tefillin. But it's a big deal. It's in your garment," which is really the progression of what we've learned so far. We've learned about tefillin. We've learned about tzitzis. You have those two. And now what do you have next? You fix your mezuzah. So where are we holding? It's a chazaka. No averis. Why? Because what is tzitzis? What is tefillin? What is a mezuzah? It's not stam in action. We have to know what we're doing. It's a reminder constantly. These are the angels that stop us from sinning. Because of the mitzvah mezuzah, Rahman al-Tzan, children get young. Chazayir b'mezuzah on the flip side. Ya'arichu yam of long life. Shenamar l'man yir b'yimechem and mevinechem. So when someone wants to know, spend the extra $50 on the mezuzah. But there's 20 of them. I know it's expensive, but arichus yamim, an incredible schos. Sev chav dalid. Ulfishem says, "Who ask your yichud shema yisbarach." Mezuzah is to remember the oneness of Hashem. So when you leave the house, what do? When you enter. One of those things that like little kids do it, and then like adults get to the point that we forget. Says the Kitzur, it's halacha. You're remembering the oneness of Hashem. You kiss that. You kiss the mezuzah. So don't touch the actual cloth. Should be glass on the shame. And when you leave your house, so maybe instead of just kissing it, little kids kiss mezuzahs. What do adults do? We don't just kiss it. You know what we do? Yomer, you say two psukim, says the Kitzur. Shem Shemi, Shem Silya Yanimini, Shem Yishra Tzisi Vayim Me'atav Adeilam. We'll just point out that the Shach Paskins, you just say the second pasuk. So if you're just looking for one to remember, at least just that, which means Hashem Yishmar Tzisi Uvayi. Hashem, you watch my going and coming Atav Adeilam. We're asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu for help, and that's really the purpose of the mezuzah. Sif Chav Hey, the final sif in Hilchos Mezuzah Yachin. If that is how often you have to check your mezuzah, twice in 7 years. We'll make mention, as note 67 points out, that the purpose of the check over here is just to make sure nothing got messed up, which means really every layman could check it. You can check your mezuzahs, take them out, open it up, and read Shema. You know how to read Shema. Just got to make sure all the letters are there. However, we will mention that not everyone is able, rolling the mezuzah are not so simple, and putting them back are not so simple, but be'etzem, anyone can do it. Shal rabim mezuzah the public, we don't want to be a burden on the public, therefore, as note 70 points out, that if the obligations are too much, no one's going to do it. Twice in 50 years. And with that, move on to Sif Yudalid, Simin Yud Beis, the incredible halachas of hikoin, of preparing your body to daven. Prepare to meet Hashem your God. Pirush, what does that mean? It's a halacha mifuresh, as you gotta prepare to greet before Hashem. What does it mean to prepare yourself? You get dressed appropriately when you go to daven. What does it mean appropriate? It says the Kitzur, a very simple line. Let's not get all caught up. Hat, jacket, gartel. Says the Kitzur. You're going to speak to Hashem. Like you're going to talk to an important guy. So let's not forget. You forget to have a Meir. If it's 12 o'clock at night, it's 2 in the morning. Oi! You jump up. Wait, you're about to talk to God. So what do you do right now? But you're in your house. Who cares? You still got to get dressed appropriately. And no one points out if I did not barefoot and in the bathrobe and pajamas, etc. Says the Mishnah Berurah that Avada it's still going to be Yotzei B'diavad. Sif Beis, so everything start going to be spelled Shenemar, and he said looking for different ways for our tefillos to be answered. A little stuck before we daven. We should accept it on ourselves before we daven. Mitzvahs v'after the reach l'kamecha. Many people say, and it's not just words, but what are we doing? We have in mind, you want to love each and every yid. If there's a separation down here in this world, then what happens above? There's no one is up above. If we're one here, same above. Our tefillas will be one. Our tefillas will combine together. And of course, that's the tefillas Hashem likes. Siv Gimel, it says in that when you're going to the house of God, watch your legs. What does that mean? The bracha teaches Gemara and brachas. What's raglecha? It means using the bathroom. And let's listen carefully. Before you dive in, check yourself. Do you have to use the bathroom? If you feel a little bit you have to use the bathroom, very important. Before someone davens is, one has to be mindful even if there's a little bit of a need to daven. If I feel a bit different, it's usher at that point. If his body is dirty, but now, if you messed up, it's if you daven and you needed to use the bathroom, then if you gauge you could have held it in 72 minutes, then it's tefillah. If you could hold it in shir parsa, so the Yesh Oimrim holds that it's true. Even if you need to use the bathroom, but you don't need to go for 72 minutes, you could daven, says the Kitzur. What's the psak? So if you're going to miss the Zman Tefillah, that is the only time you could daven, even though you need to use the bathroom a little bit. But no 10 points of the Mishnah Berurah and Sadi Beis. Do not rely upon this to daven with a minion. So if you show up to shul and it's not Zman Tefillah and you're going to miss one Esrei, that's not enough a reason. Go use the bathroom. We finish with Sif Dal and Mishabari Love. Someone is short. He's going to let out gas. Muta, if it's better to have Zman Kriyishma Tefillah, Mimashes Babel and Kufnaki. Ve'im, over Zman Tefillah, then Anasu, he's in Einis, he had no choice. Mashim Achrach, and he damens Tashlumim afterwards. But if he sees Shiachla Amadas, if he thinks he could try, then he necht Tefillin. Bein Baruch Mami Yisrael Ba'ava L'Kriyishma Varach Aleim, make a bracha, as we've seen. But again, passing gas in Tefillin while davening is also not allowed. We'll pick it up from Sif Hey, B'siyata Dishmai.